Welcome back to Final Fantasy Online with the Rude Man. And in the last episode, we finished a dungeon. It's our first dungeon, Sastasha, and we need to turn that quest line in. And what's that bunny doing running back and forth? Anyway, I was quite tired when I recorded that, and it wasn't my best recording. And it wasn't my best job in a dungeon either. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let me go ahead and turn this in, and then we've got some things to do. We've got 2 more dungeons to do, because at the start here, we have to do a dungeon in each of the prime locations. So we'll get right to that. Veteran, I'm back. Ah, such a task was on the books. Was, mind. I'm afraid that ship has already sailed, friend. Ah, might you be the adventurer who accepted the job of investigating Sastasha? That was me. It would seem that ship has not only sailed, but now returns to harbor. None the worse for its voyage, I see. A pity. We dragged our boots too long on this one. No matter. The wheel will turn and our chance will come. You're right, of course. But there shall be no rest until we have attained our goal, lofty though it may be. Not a wink of sleep, great leader. Our aim, lest you wonder, is to perform such feats of heroism as will earn us a place in the songs of every alehouse in Erosia. We mean to write a legend, which will inspire adventurers as yet unborn to follow our shining example. Do you have such a goal? Large or small, doesn't matter. Only have a star to reach for and you will reach higher. Purpose can sustain you through times of hardship. Keep your eye on the prize, and all the obstacles will be overcome in time. You'd not think to stride into battle unclad, would you? Well, goals are as arms and armor for the spirit. I wish you fortune in your endeavors, sir. Ciao. Back then, are ye? With all your limbs and a tale to tell, I'll wager. Fishbacks? And there I was thinking you'd only have to crack a pirate skull or 3. 7 hells. You turned your back for 5 bloody minutes, and the scaly bastards will set up shop on your bleeding doorstep. Still, sounds like you left them in pieces, so I don't suppose they'll be carrying out whatever mischief they were planning, unless they was planning on feeding themselves to the fauna of Sastasha. Any road, all's well that ends well. Thanks for shedding some light on this mystery. I knew you'd get the job done, lad. You always do. Now, I'll bet you're dying for a rest, but just in case you're not, I was wondering if you might be interested in taking another job. Just so happens that I've had requests from our sister guild in Gridania, you see. Seems the forest folk are in need of a venturer what can get some things done. For them to ask for help like this, you can bet that the task won't be no skip through a sunny glade. But after what you've dealt with our fishbacks infestation, I doubt it's anything you can't handle. Give us a shout when you're ready. I'll lay it out for you. Party Finder's unlocked. Sweet. And a level up. Now, before we take that next quest, if you've noticed, now that we're leveling up a little bit, we've got different kinds of notifications from the NPCs. Like, that one there is a side quest. It's got the exclamation mark on it. Just a regular side quest. These over here are special colored, and it's got a plus sign on it. Now, what that means are these are things that you may probably want to do. They're not mainline quest lines, but they're still important nonetheless. So you'll probably want to take almost all of these at one point or another. So I'm going to take a look at what she's got. If I remember right, this is important. Rising to the challenge. We all know how it feels to have had one too many. That's why I'll not fault our patrons for much of what goes on at the tables. But is it too much to ask that they keep their belongings on their person when they leave? It wouldn't bother me so much if half of them didn't show up a week later, ranting and raving as if their drunk heedlessness were somehow my fault. Take this impressive-looking journal right here. As oft used as it seems to be, I've no doubt its owner is tearing up the town searching for his prized possession. A stranger he was, a swarthy Rodigan, who enjoyed his drink, seemed to be getting on well with our regulars. Perhaps you could still catch up with him, and spare me the headache. I'd offer you a free drink, but at last time I did that Baden docked my wages. All right, so the guy that she thinks he was talking to is that guy over there. So let's go talk to him. Have I seen who? Look, just because I spend more nights at the wench than in my own home doesn't mean I'm mates with every sod who comes stumbling through the doors. Wait a minute. That book. Why didn't you say so sooner? The tight-arsed bastard drained 20 flagons of promptly passed out, leaving yours truly to foot the bill. Said he was heading for Aleport. Aye, where else, the scurvy sop? Nemea willing, he's still stranded at the ferry docks, though the gods know it won't get him back his gill. Alright, so we got to go to Aleport, but let's see what this one is. Beauty is only scalp deep. You're either a brave man or a fool, friend, to be wandering the streets of Limsa tonight, what with the slasher of Fisherman's Bottom on the loose. You've not heard? There's a madman about. Why, it's said he brandishes blades so long and sharp that they could cut a whale of... You've not heard? There's a madman about. Why, it's said he brandishes blades so long and sharp that they could cut a whale. No one's seen any blood yet, but that doesn't stop the rumors from sending shivers up spines in every alehouse in town. That you're still standing before me tells me that you don't scare easily as the rest. Perhaps you could assist with the investigation. To start with, you might want to look into that scream I just heard outside. All right. Well... anything else in here? Let's go check the screaming out. Disgruntled madam. That guy looks pretty nervous. What's going on here? What are you waiting for? That's him, the slasher. Apprehend him, toss him in a goal, and throw away the key. Or gut him and feed his lifeless body to the sharks for all I care. Just do something. Woe is me. Whatever did I do to deserve this cruel fate? For 6 moons I've saved every last gill of my husband's hard-earned wage, foregoing new shoes, a new purse, sometimes even food for our children, all in anticipation of this day. What's so special about today, you ask? Why, this day marks the arrival of a world-renowned beautician in Limsa. My endless patience and self-control were to be rewarded with a hair-raising transformation that would have every fashion conscience limousine oohing and awing in admiration. Instead, I find myself accosted by this lecherous lout. Speaking of which, weren't you going to do something about this? Go ahead, have your way with him. Doubt he has anything to say for himself. All right, let's talk to the flustered man. Sob. No matter what I say, all I receive is accusations and looks of horror. I swear this is not what it seems. Do you doubt me too, friend? Oh, the ignominy of it all. Of course you take her side. For shame. Is there not one sympathetic ear in this entire nation? An artiste of my renown should be welcomed with open arms and a 21 cannon salute. Instead, I'm branded a criminal, the tools of my trade, nay, the extensions of my very soul, ripped unceremoniously from my person like barnacles from the side of a frigate. I will not last long in this weakened state, not even as we speak. No, even as we speak, the world around me grows dim. With my dying breath, I speak unto you 3 names, 3 kind souls, who may yet put right what has gone so frightfully wrong. The Forge Master, the Guild Master Beaton in Gridania, and the Alchemist Guild in Udal. If there is an ounce of compassion in you, seek them out, and tell them that I have sent you, when my soul is restored and my name rightfully cleared of all Limsa. Nay, the entire realm will sing your praise, for I am no one other than the Aegis Cough, the Astra Wheeze. Yeah, he's upset. All right, so evidently this guy's mugged, and he's a beautician, and somebody stole all of his tools. So he wants us to go to the Blacksmith Guild here in Limsa, the Carpenters Guild in Gridania, and the Alchemist Guild in Ulda to get him new tools, I guess. So there you go. Another quest. All right, we need to get down to the ferry docks to see if we can find that guy that lost his book. And there he is right there. Sir, if you have business with me, be quick about it. My ferry and my next great adventure awaits. I got your book, I think. Is this yours? My journal? Well, I thought I lost it forever. Pardon my rudeness, friend. Perhaps I should have stopped after 19 flagons. Did you steal a glance at its pages, perchance? No. A shame that, for this book contains, how might I say it, a record of my numerous adventures. Quite the inspiring read, if I do say so myself, which I believe I just did. You've the air of an adventurer about you, if one's still untested. But take heart, even the most accomplished adventurer, and I speak from personal experience, was once a whelp with more dreams than sense. Were there only some way for me to repay you? Oh, but of course, I have a fresh journal right here that might as well have your name on it. Why not keep a record of your own, that one day we might regale each other with stories of our deeds? And with that, I shall be off for adventure, and a flagon or 20 of the realm's finest ale calls me. Fare ye well on your journey, and next time you find yourself at the Wench, thank that fellow for his generosity. All right. So what's this all about? You now have access to the challenge log, which will serve as a record of your adventuring exploits. To open it, select logs from the main menu and select challenge. Okay, so what this is, we have our hunting log. This log keeps track of your battles, any PvP you do, any fates you do, leave quests, crafting and gathering, and all this other stuff as it opens up. So, for example, the dungeon I just did, had I had this journal already, would have shown that I'd done a dungeon. And then you get stuff for this. There's another reason to do it as well, but we've got a ways to go before we tag that benefit in. Okay, so let's get on. I think we had to go to Gridania, but first, let's go check with the blacksmith here. Jandalane sent you. Let me guess, the barmy fool has lost his tools. Pardon me, the appendages of his very soul again, and is thrashing and tossing like the end of the days is nigh. The man brings it on himself. If he toned down the theatrics and went about in his work like an earnest craftsman, I dare say he'd save himself all these misunderstandings. No, I've not a whit of sympathy for the fool. You, however, have my pity indeed for having to play audience to his whining. Any road, this should shut him up for a while. Tell him that if he loses these, I'll graft the next pair into his bloody hands. All right, now on to Gridonia. So the second part of this, I'm supposed to go to the Carpenters Guild, which is right here in front of us, and pick up something for the beautician. Let's go talk to the guild master. A message from Jandalane, you say? He's lost another one? Does the man not understand that wood doesn't simply grow on... well, actually it does. At least in a manner of speaking, but the fact remains that resources are in short supply. For all of his flowery words, if his tools were truly an extension of his very being, one would think he'd find a way to hold on to them for more than a fortnight or two. Jandalane's skills are not to be doubted, but his temperament leaves much to be desired. Still, it's not my place to judge. Take this to him, and let us both hope that he will right his ways. All right, before we go to Ulda, though, we're supposed to... You know what? I forgot. I was supposed to talk to Baterin and get that next quest, and I didn't do it. Hang on. I got to go back to Limsa, and I'll be right back. All right, let's talk to Baterin here. Take this quest. Call of the Forest. Ready to hear about that job, then? Well, like I said, the request comes from our sister guild in Gridonia. That's about all I know. But whatever it is you get asked to do, I somehow doubt that it'd pose any trouble for you after surviving the bedlam at Sestasha. If you think you might be interested, you'll want to have words with Mother Mion, my counterpart in Gridonia. Good luck, mate. Take a seat wherever you like, friend. Our waitress will come to take your... Oh, not here to dine? Dare I hope that you're the adventurer Baterin sent word of? You are. The matron be praised. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Mion, and the Carline Canopy is my place. With regard to the task in question, there's a fair bit to tell. Let me know when you're ready to hear the details, and I'll brief you. Fire in the gloom. Ready for that briefing? Good. Now then, here's the long and the short of it. Begs pardon for interrupting, Mion, but our need grows ever more pressing. Have none stepped forward? Oh, and good morrow to you, Bow-Lord. Bow-Lord? That's the title for you. Your need must be pressing indeed for you to honor us with a visit. The good news is your journey hasn't been wasted. I'm pleased to report that we have a volunteer at last, and one who comes highly recommended at that. My thanks for answering the call, friend. My name is Lewin, and I lead the men and women of the God's Quiver. Now, time is of the essence, so I shall proceed directly to the heart of the matter. We wish for you to nip a potential threat to Gridonia in the bud. Beneath the central shroud, there lies an underground burial site called the Tamtera Deepcroft. The place was once Gamorrean settlement, but we Gridanians have long interred our dead there. Of late, however, shady figures have been seen skulking about the Deepcroft, and with ever-increasing regularity. Based on the accounts of various witnesses, we suspect that these individuals belong to the Lambs of Dalmun. Based on the accounts of various witnesses, we suspect that these individuals belong to the Lambs of Dalamud, a doomsday cult which sprung up prior to the calamity. These zealots have proven themselves dangerous in the past, and we leave them to their own devices at our peril. Ordinarily, I would have dispatched my best men to scour the Deepcroft with orders to flush the cultists out. Alas, the calamity decimated our ranks, and the limited forces at my disposal are constantly required to keep that Ixal at bay. The birdmen have grown restless of late, and I fear a storm may be brewing. In anticipation of this, I have been compelled to spread our forces throughout the Twelves Wood, lest to be taken unawares. The situation so being, we must turn to others to deal with the Lambs of Dalamud. Can we rely on you to undertake this task, friend? You have my gratitude. Once you've seen to your preparations, pray make your way to the Deepcroft and identify yourself to the guard posted at the entrance. He will apprise you of the latest developments. That is all. Be careful out there, you hear? May the crystal guide you and keep you. Alright, we've got another dungeon lined up. I'm going to head back to Ul'dah. The dungeon might take longer than I'm thinking, so we'll go back to Ul'dah and finish this quest line that we're on about the beautician, and then we'll do the dungeon. I'm going to use my free teleport. Okay, so I actually did this different than I wanted to do. I set this one as my home point. I don't want it as my home point. I actually want it as, let's see here. I should have a free one. Yeah, register free destination. This one will be that. And I'll do Gridania as my home point when I get back to Gridania. So we need to go to the Alchemist Guild. Wait a minute. Let's go back down and teleport there. That'll be simpler. Look, it's Johnny Cash, Man in Black. Alright, Alchemist Guild. Ah, the adventurer, one of my favorite kinds of people. Alright, here he is. You've come on behalf of Jandalin. Why? I just finished with... You've come on behalf of Jandalin. Why? I just furnished him with a fresh batch of my special creations last week. I realize the man's services are in demand, but it would be physically impossible for him to exhaust the entire supply so soon. Stolen, you say? Well, that's an unfortunate turn of events indeed, if not entirely unexpected. You see, the man is something of a genius, and genius is often misunderstood by modest minds. Trust me, I speak from experience, personal experience. He thinks he's a genius. Yes, great minds must band together in trying times, lest the realm be deprived of our talents, and so I command you, deliver this parcel to Jan Delane with all speed. Alright, we got everything Jan Delane needs, so we'll head back to Limsa. Right, I'm going to show you how to get to Limsa kind of easy. This gate of the Sultana is the one we need to go out. So if I set Ulda as my free place, I can go here for free. And then when I get a mount, this is going to be a lot easier. I need to go on the other side of that hill right there. There is a dock, and I can take a ferry over to Limsa. Now, running is going to take some time. If I had a mount, it'd be a lot quicker. Normally, I would take a shortcut here, but I want you to see where I have to go. So we're just going to take the time to run there. It's not that far, but it's going to take a minute or two. Okay, this is Vesper Bay, and there's a ferry right here that we can take directly to Limsa. All right, we're going to go to the aft castle. And we're going to run around the corner here. Sir, if there's an ounce of compassion in you, friend, I beg of you, retrieve for me the tools of my trade, for I am none other than Jan Delane. I got your stuff. Settle down. Jeez. Could this be? Yes, I can feel it. The light returns to my eyes. Power courses through my fingers. I live. And as I live, this unspeakable embodiment of ugliness must die. Begone, foul demon. Aye. And so I ask, how do you feel, madam? Why, it's as if in but a single magnificent moment, I traveled beyond the void and returned to life as the embodiment of all that is beautiful in this world. Could it be? Yes, it must. How else to explain such power? You are the one whose coming was foretold. You, yes, you are the aesthetician. In the flesh, madam, I am Jan Delane, crafter of coiffures, so divine that Mafina herself doth begrudge my clients their beauty. But let us speak of you, madam. For where a moment ago stood a fashion-challenged frump, now there stands a beauty reborn. And you are the one I must thank for reviving my soul, that I might once again bestow my gifts on a realm bereft of beauty, a kindness I intend to repay in full. Do you fear that your own hairstyle is becoming passé? Fear the specter of, gasp, ugliness threatening to consume you? Fear not, friend, for it shall not survive my wrath. What the hell? As the madam before you, as this very realm we call home, from an abyss of unfathomable drabness, you shall rise anew. My clients have been known to make reservations moons, even years in advance, but you shall know no such troubles. No, for proving a staunch ally to good taste, when all others turned a blind eye, I gladly place myself at your beck and call. Yes, the next time you find yourself plagued by what? Aesthetic in you need only ring the crystal bell from the comfort of an inn room at which you have taken up lodging. Jandalane shall hasten to the scene. Yes, in a flash, the dreary, uninspired life you have hitherto known shall end. You shall travel to the realm beyond and return to us as a beauty reborn. I give you this as a token of trust between us. Treasure it, for it is the key to a world of aesthetic wonders ordinary men shall never know. Oh, Master Jandalane, do come back. I've not made my next appointment. Go feed your kids, woman. She said she wasn't giving her kids food. Well, that was exciting. So, if you remember when I took a tour of the inn room that we had, there were 2 bells to ring. The one that looks like a barber pole calls him, and with for of course a cost, you can change your hairstyle, you can change your hair color, you can put tattoos on, you can put change your makeup, you can change the way you look. Alrighty, now we've got to head back to Gridania because we've got a dungeon to set up. So I will see you there. And now that we're back in Gridania, I am going to set this one up as my home. Because for a while I'm going to be jumping back and forth between the 3 cities. Eventually I'll change this to some place that I'm likely to get killed and want to get right back to. But for the time being, I'm going to set it as home. Okay, with that, I can return here for free. I made Ulda my free teleport, so I can get to Ulda for free. And then from there, I can quickly run over to that ferry and get to Limsa. So it's kind of a fast way to get around if you don't have a mount. Or a lot of money. Because taking airships is expensive. It's 120 gil every time you do. Alright, we're going to head out to where the dungeon's at. I'll see you there. Okay, we have arrived. We're going to go down here and sign up for this. And then we'll actually do the dungeon in the next episode. Look, those are the guys. Are these the guys that we met in... They are. These are the adventurers that we met that we took the job that they wanted. Alright, there's the God's quiver bow feller. You're Roland Painter? I take it. You're Roland Painter, I take it. Thanks for helping us out, friend. No doubt the Bow Lord has already informed you, but your task is to enter the Deepcroft and purge it of the Lambs of Dalamud. In case you're unfamiliar with them, the cult emerged shortly before the Calamity put an end to the 6th Astral Era. The cultists took the lesser moon Dalamud for their god, believing that it would deliver them from the devastation. And so they were rather disappointed when Dalamud exploded into 1,000 flaming pieces before it could complete its descent. Now, having seen their gods turn to ash, one would think that the cultists might feel moved to question their faith. On the contrary, it served only to stoke the flames of their fanaticism. The Lambs of Dalamud are convinced that heretics, that is to say, everyone but them, interfered with the coming of their Lord and Savior, and that it's now their sacred duty to avenge him. Whatever it is they're doing in the Deepcroft, you may be sure that no good will come of it. For the sake of Gridania and Erosia at large, put an end to this madness. The Tamtara Deepcroft is now available. Okay, so I'm going to end the episode here. When we come back, we'll take on this dungeon and see how we fare. Hope you had fun. Hope to see you in the next episode. Ta-ta for now.